Ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing this fine Tuesday reset? Coming at you at 6 o'clock, we have a lot to discuss today. Major changes and updates coming to Destiny 2 that will impact the state of power and related power grind coming into Destiny 2's up-and-coming expansion, Renegades, as well as an up-and-coming Halloween update that you should be looking for. Destiny 2 community vocalizes their thoughts and suggestions on how to keep Destiny 2 alive as an IP as the player count hits the lowest lows that we've ever seen in franchise history, as well as discussing the idea of Destiny 3 down the road. Patch notes rolled out with some very needed adds and changes to Destiny 2, such as removal of the unstable cores, simplification of the portal modifier and power systems, as well as bringing everyone up to 300 power, leaked information about marathon pricing and what to expect on release, as well as reminding everyone interested in this game and Bungie staying afloat to go and sign up for the marathon playtest in the coming weeks. And finally, Bungie's chosen movie of the week. I'm your host, D. Callie, and you're watching Destiny News. To start off the day, we have significant changes coming to Destiny 2 and Destiny 2 in the future. So, current changes are being made to how the power will transfer over to the new expansion, Renegades. So everyone from their current season will transfer their power exactly. There will be no seasonal resets like we have had in previous seasons. So if you are 500 now, you will stay 500 going into Renegades. 300, stay 300, etc., etc. And additionally, the power cap will not increase. So 550 will be the cap in Renegades as well. In the portal, we will see an increase in power drops to the respective difficulty at all levels, as well as a function of power adjustments being completely removed and replaced with each tier having a power cap and have the more difficulty. The thing is, the higher the delta, so if you're playing a Grandmaster, the delta will be minus 25 your current power. Another significant change is that mid-game chests and activities like the Coil, Onslaught, and Contest of Elders now drop above power, making it so that you don't have to play the whole thing to get power drops. You can play half, or if you play the whole thing, you'll just get more drops, and the power, you'll increase power at a much significant rate. Another change that they've made, which is a significant one, is that bonus drops at the end also grant power drops. So before, you'd have your one that would drop at power, and then you have your bonus drops that would drop below power. But now they all drop power, giving the ability to grow your power in a much greater speed than before. There's a lot more in-depth changes that you can read that will be in the description, or you can search up This Week in Destiny or TWAB for shorts. Patch notes are here, and along with that comes a lot more information. It is about time that this change has been made, and for the better. No cores, no more. That's right, Bungie is phasing out unstable cores previously used and still is used to upgrade and infuse items together. And before, it costs a lot of unstable cores. It still does, but it costs less. And as of Renegades, they are completely removing the resource entirely. To bridge us into this removal, Bungie is now offering 777,777 unstable cores to everyone until the end of Season 27, so just before Renegades comes out. They have also decreased the amount of cores it takes to infuse armor or weapons. So if anyone unfamiliar with this system, instead of infusion cores that we used to have, they replaced it with unstable cores, which was a horrible system. It cost so much cores to infuse things, but now they're offering the infusement cores for now until they get rid of it later. I don't know why this was ever a thing, but I'm glad they're getting rid of it in Renegades. To get this reward, simply go to the tower and open the supply drop near Zavala. Alongside getting unstable cores, you'll be getting some enhancement cores, but most importantly, everyone will be getting 300 power armor. So if you just got in the game and you're 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, go to the tower, get your loot. You'll be caught up to 300 for everyone. So everyone who is planning on playing Renegades, who isn't playing right now, get on, grab the loot, and if you're not, get it. If you are above 300, you're like, what does it benefit me? Well, they are dropping above power for people who are above 300. So for me, my power drops are about 319, and when I got there, the first one I picked up, armor piece, was about 325, and then by the end, once I've claimed them all, it was about 331 for the last one. So it's about plus 5 plus power increase if you're above 300. I'm sure that bump kind of decreases as power gets closer to that max, but it is an improvement. This whole package is known to last for until the end of season 27, so definitely pick this up. To adjust for this power increase, they've removed all portal difficulties below 300 to make things simpler, and additionally, all Edge of Fate activities will drop up to 300 power. So the raid, the campaign, the dungeons, everything to do with Kepler will drop at 300 power. So you will, if you didn't get the drops from this season and you just hopped on Renegades, you will be able to level up to 300, but this change doesn't really make much of a difference if you get the supply drop in the tower right now. There's a lot more to read in the patch notes, so I'll link most of it. I'll link it in the description for you to read. But one last thing to note before I move on to the next section is changes have been made to Guardian rank 6, where one of the objectives was to get kills with the 3rd iteration. This, however, is an old seasonal gun, and the only way you can obtain it now is through the exotic archive, which you need Edge of Fate to own. So people who didn't buy the Edge of Fate and didn't play in that season are limited to Guardian rank 6. This, however, is no longer the case, as progress will be made by also using the new exotic pulse rifle. I can't remember the name. Put it on the screen. That pulse rifle will give you progress towards your Guardian level 6 kills, so you can increase to Guardian level 7 and higher without needing to buy Edge of Fate. Moving on to the community side of things, lots of discussion and hard conversations have been happening amongst the Destiny community, and rightfully so, with current player numbers hitting lower than Curse of Osiris, which back then was apparently 5 weeks away from shutting down. Now, do I think we are 5 weeks away from shutting down? Unlikely, but it's possible. They're backed by Sony now, so it's their choice to bail out Bungie if it gets down to it, but it's really anyone's guess. There's so much to cover with the state of the company and management and all of that, so I'm not going to cover all of that. That could be a whole video in and of itself. But what I want to talk about is how the community feels about the current state of Destiny and what can be done to improve it. Now, from my research and from playing the game and from being a Destiny player and from talking to Destiny players and looking at Twitter, as much as that is a dumpster fire of a social media platform, I've found that there are 2 major problems with the current state of Destiny. One is the new player experience. How is it to play Destiny as a new player in 2025 or in the Edge of Fate expansion? And number 2, the current power grind and I'll call it the new Destiny format, in the way that power is increased and kind of the format of how the new content is laid out and how it can be played and stuff like that. I'll get into that in just one moment. Now, the first thing I want to talk about before I talk about the new player experience is the current power grind. This is basically how it is. Play old content again, or play the very minimal options of new content. Doesn't matter though, it all drops the same gear and it's slow. So that's my opinion. It is a major issue with the portal. It feels like power grind for the sake of power and nowhere to use it, but in activities that have been out for years. So basically, you hop in, and the main way to increase your power beyond 200, well now it would be 300, is to play portal activities, which limit basically where you can get your increased power. No raids, no dungeons, none of that will give you increased power. Only the portal will increase your power, which are certain dungeon layers and small strikes, as well as just a general recycling of content to increase your power, which I think is a horrible structure. Players should be wanting and pushed to play new content and good content to get their power. There's no point in gaining power and like doing the power grind if the power grind isn't fun and there's nowhere to use the power. Because what's the point if there's no power progression that you play in raids, other than the raids being super fun? But there needs to be a change in the portal itself. My only suggestion, this is the only thing I'll say about the portal, is get rid of it. It makes the game feel small, it makes the game feel limiting, and not all does it feel like Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is about exploration and mystery, and all of that has been removed with the portal. Now the portal does give some positive things, but the positives are in the few. You can focus gear a lot easier with having everything dropping the same thing and showing like a drop for the week. So if you want to grind cloaks, there's a cloak thing that you can play that'll drop cloaks. If you need a helmet, this one will drop a helmet. But it makes the game feel small because you're not like going to different planets. You're just going to the portal. Sure, you are traveling to different planets, but you don't get to direct yourself to said planets. It changes the whole feel of the game, and in my opinion it should be scrapped and gone back to at least the old system, if not a new system for power grind, or even people are talking about removing the power grind as a whole. Now whether you like that or not is up to you. I'm not going to give my opinion on that because I don't know, I haven't really formed an opinion on that, but I like the old system much better than the new system, so that's my only thing I would say. Next thing is the new light experience, or lack thereof. I've seen many YouTube posts of people playing the new light experience, playing the campaign, which is a glorified tutorial, and people making videos of their new light experience and it being horrible. The onboarding experience is not good. It's a glorified tutorial. There's nothing of story that it gives, or minimal, and then once you've completed that, it throws you right into the first mission of Edge of Fate, which is so counterproductive of getting people interested in the game. In my last news video, I said that from Lightfall back, it should be all free to play. You get Strand, you get Stasis, all of that for free. It's what I think that will help new players get into the game. They start the Red War, then they play the Curse of Osiris, then they play the Warmind expansion, etc. They play Shadowkeep, Forsaken, they're hooked on the game, and then all of a sudden they've hit Lightfall and they're like, I gotta see how this turns out. Final Shape is an expansion that I can buy. They will buy it. I guarantee you they will buy it, and if not, a lot of people will. I think it is a great way to implement new players as well as retaining current players and bringing back veteran players who just want to play the old campaigns again. Another suggestion that players are making is the development of Destiny 3 to happen, which if started will take 3 years or more, which is expected. But what I think Bungie should do, right, is they have Destiny 2, which is a live service game that currently updates every week. They keep doing updates, maybe some big, maybe small, I don't know. But while alongside this, continue and making Destiny 3. Once Destiny 3 is out, move all of the resources to Destiny 3. Now, this is completely unrealistic because they're working on another game that we'll get into in a moment, Marathon. The likelihood of them developing a Destiny 3 alongside Marathon, alongside updating Destiny 2, is just unlikely. So until that game comes out, we'll talk about Destiny 3 later. It's all up to speculations at this point and how it will impact something. But I think the changes should be made to the campaign and the onboarding experience, which right now is horrible. More information about how people feel about Destiny 2 and the creation of Destiny 3, we have a post on Twitter from Glad. saying it's wild to hear this and feel the validation from folks who don't even play Destiny 2 or barely do. Bungie not resetting everything and dropping a Destiny 3 will always be the biggest throw of all time and a huge head scratcher for the rest of my life. And I'll play this clip from the Drop Frames podcast where they talk about how the significance of a Destiny 3 would make if they released it after the final shape, which I do believe is a huge L.
At Bungie and not look at the state of Destiny 2 right now and think like, if they would have ended Destiny 2 a year ago when they finished their big 10-year story and dropped Destiny 3 and restart that thing, like, that seems like a sure... we're not game CEO, but that seems like a sure win.
What's even crazier about that?
Once again, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was going to say, Julia, once again, right on the money. All they had to do was Destiny 3.
Yeah.
That's all they had to do.
Yeah.
That's it. And what's even wilder is like, not only is that all they had to do, they were clearly at least okay at doing it. They had a full player base. Their players wanted that. They were asking for it. It's like you literally had a layup at that point. Like all you had to do, your player base was like, just give it to us and we'll make you successful. And Bungie was like, no.
That would have been if they came out with Final Shape and then boom, Destiny 3, that would be so much better. But right now, as it stands, we're still in Destiny 2, still getting updates. People are getting tired of the current systems. All we can do from now is grind back and hopefully get a Destiny 3 in the coming years. There's not much we can do about it right now. Now, I've already done some talking about Marathon and bringing that up, so I want to talk further about that with a couple of leaks that we have found on Twitter. So, these leaks have been made by ex-user Colony Deeks, which reveals a couple things about the pricing and some of the weapons that will be available upon the release of Marathon. So, Standard Edition will cost about the same as a Destiny 2 expansion. It'll be about $40, which is not a bad price to get into for a new game, considering new games now are being priced at like $80 to $90 even. Mind you, they are different in scale. I feel like $40 is definitely a fair price to ask, and the deluxe edition will be costing around $60, which will include about $30 worth of seasonal pass tokens. What that is unknown to me and to everyone, but we will figure that out down the line. Now, talking about the season pass, it'll cost about $10 and will be purely cosmetic. So nothing that will give you an advantage in the game, only cosmetic stuff. Information about the game itself showing us that the game will be released with 28 weapons of various types, such as 4 auto rifles, 3 LMGs, 6 precision rifles, 3 pistols, 2 railguns, 3 shotguns, 3 snipers, and 3 SMGs. More information about that can be found on a couple of the news articles that I've looked at, including the article from the GamePost.com. You can see all the details of the weapons and the names of the weapons. If you want to see that, I'll link it down in the description. Now, the one thing I gotta say is I just hope this game does well, as the success of this game will ultimately impact Destiny 2 and Bungie as a whole. So this game really matters to do well. Now, what you can do to make sure, all you can do to make sure that this game does as well as it can is by now signing up for the Marathon closed playtest. Now, you can do so on Steam or on their community Discord. Sign up for the playtest. It'll run from October 22nd to November 4th, I believe. I'll put it on the screen differently if I'm wrong, but that is the time frame that they'll give you to playtest their game and give them feedback on what needs to be changed and what is just anything about the game. Whether or not this helps is up to Bungie, whether they want to use the information given to them, but that's the most that we can do to hope to make this game as good as it can be. And finally, we have Bungie's Movie of the Week. We'll play it right now. Yeah, that seems about right. That poor ogre. Rest in peace. In the arms of the angels. Anyways, that is all I have for today, you guys. And honestly, I'm feeling hopeful and cautiously optimistic. There's still a lot to fix and a lot of unknowns, but all we can do is give feedback and hope Bungie listens. I'm DeCali, and I'll see you in the next one. And remember to like and subscribe. Stay frosty, Guardians.